What's the beat? Hope we're well. Coming in strong, Nissan Primera Chronicles, pal. Hope we're good. So, this morning, what's the message? I'm very pukey right now. Legs are fucked. And I'm sitting outside the gym, shooting this video. And fuck me, a good spew on the phone. But there's an important lesson in all of this madness. And that lesson is this. If you're a chef who struggles with your weight and you're a chef who always seems to do something, not even struggling with your weight, let's say you're overweight, you've got really bad habits, bad patterns, your health isn't good and you've got low energy and motivation, which is pretty much standard for a lot of chefs who don't take care of themselves. It's very standard to be caught in that situation. I've been there. So when you're in that position, it's like you'll usually start something and give up after a while and you'll end up back at square one. You'll be fucking chasing your tail and spinning your wheels, so to speak, on how to sort it out. And it's a frustrating experience, and when you fail that many times, Mr. Paul Matthew Brown, when you fail that many times, your mind goes to a strange place because you start to believe you're a failure. You start to believe that you can't do things. You start to believe that it's impossible for you. Here's the puke coming through, Jesus Christ. You seem to think it's impossible for you to make the change, and that doesn't matter what you try, it's never going to work. Okay, cool, I get it. Here's the key. The key thing to you changing all of that and actually establishing a sustained change in your life is momentum. Momentum. This is something that you lack massively, and this is something that I had to keep in my mind. Because a lot of this is psychology. I had to keep this in my mind when I created Chef Fit System. And it's like, right, this is the Chef Fit Elite method. This thing is based around moving every day. And people go, oh, do you have to exercise every day? If you want to change your life. If you want to change your life. Do you know what I mean? Mr. David Cullen. Like, if you want to change your life, move every day. And that's quite a fucking daunting thing to hear. When you're a chef and you're working fucking long hours and you're bollocks. And you're like, what you mean move every day? But think about it like this. It doesn't matter what your starting point is. You could be a fucking absolute beginner who's never done exercise in their life. You could be a chef who's fucking been in the gym before. It doesn't matter. The idea of moving every single day is that we do something small every day to change our state of mind and start building momentum. So do something every day, and that momentum, it's like pushing the boulder off the hill, and it picks up that speed and it gets really, really quick and very, very difficult to stop. Whereas if you're a chef and you try something, it's like, oh, I'm doing this program, I'm fucking going and exercising twice a week, and I'm doing this diet and it's whatever else. The 2 days that you're doing it, you might feel great, but what happens the other fucking 5 days? The other 5 days, your fucking mind, the excuses come in, that resistance builds up in your head, and then when you go back to do your first day the next week, you don't want to know about it, and you end up stopping, and that's what you continue to do every single time. My philosophy and what chefs need to do, what you need to do is you need to build momentum by moving every single day. Because moving every day, number one, builds a habit quicker than anything else in the world. And the only way you're going to save your fucking life is through building habits. Think about it. A habit. You do something without thinking. It's on autopilot. So imagine if your life was centered around really good habits where you woke up in the morning and it's like your first thought was, when the alarm goes off, I get up and I exercise or I meditate. Imagine that was a fucking habit for you. Imagine that was automatic. How much different would your life be? It'd be totally different. Thinking about the amount of times that you fucking woke up in pain, in bits, fucked around the gaff for a fucking hour or two, had a coffee and a smoke, and then you fucked off into work with your head up your hole. It's like it happens every single time. That's all based on your habits. You don't have fucking solid habits. And I didn't have solid habits. And a lot of the chefs who started Chef Fit Elite did not have solid habits. It's 100% the problem. But the thing you got to remember here, chef, is that if you can commit to moving every single day, building a fuckload of momentum, and you can stick with that for a 2 or 3 month period, then all of a sudden those habits are built, and now you have those things for the rest of your life. And there's no going back to that same old shit. But that's the only way. There's no quick fix. There's no silver fucking bullet. There's no magic potion. There's only the fucking truth, which is you gotta fucking do something every single day until that something becomes second nature. And when that thing becomes second nature, you've won the game. But unfortunately, it's not pretty, it's not easy, and it's not a fucking thing that is gonna happen overnight. You've got to commit to doing the work. But again, the work is gonna set you free because discipline equals fucking freedom at the end of the day. So chefs, remember that if you are struggling, the thing you're looking to find is going to be found in the place that you least want to look. And you think about that for a second. If I do something every day, initially it's going to be uncomfortable, but eventually it's going to lead to something great, then that's what you need to do. Don't sit on the fence. Don't be fucking like, oh, you know, that mightn't be realistic for me. If you're telling me that if moving every day could be consisting of a 15-minute walk around your block, if that's how unfit you are, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. It's that you're getting up and doing something every day. And eventually that becomes ingrained. That's your key. That's the key to changing your life. That in mind, chefs, if you are interested in joining the elite and you're in this group, go and fucking fill out your application and get involved. If you're not, then like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed it, leave a comment. With that in mind, chefs, have a good day. Friday, motherfuckers.